Hello and welcome. My name is Magnus Oraka. I spent all the night thinking and worried about the new wave of wickedness that has engulfed the Southwest. Trust me, if you are a Yoruba man and you have the ability of rationalizing, please do not make comments on this video. Do not even think I'm referring to you. But when I took the stock of everything that had happened in this 2023, that has been revealed by Tinubu, the depth of hatred and wickedness that has been exposed from most Yoruba people, I'm beginning to force myself to ask if my focus or thoughts that the people that are actually at the most problem of Nigeria, the Fulanis, have not been wrong all along. Like I said, I've been thinking throughout the night. How come some Yorubas, perhaps I would want to say most Yorubas, have developed this so much deep-rooted hatred for the Igbos? I am not saying the Igbos are perfect. I'm not saying I have not had my own fair encounters with some maybe annoying Igbos or Yorubas or Hausa, but such encounters have been on a personal basis and has not grown enough to make a generalization about the attitude of people. Now, get it one straight. I had actually thought that Yorubas are the most intelligent, the most educated, the most schooled, the most traveled, the most exposed. When it came to these 2023 elections, particularly as it relates to the presidential election, the ugly revelations that reared its head begs one to wonder if the Yorubas even deserve to be qualified as even the least of all literates. I mean, you actually come out telling people to go back to their lands, maim people, slicing off people's backs, deep wounds, wrought threats. I mean, I've stayed in the North now for over 50 years. I've never seen this type of hatred. I've never, in Plateau State, Plateau State came out wholly to vote for Peter Obi. But when people came to vote for Bola Tinubu, nobody threatened them. Nobody booed them. Nobody said anything. Let me tell those Yorubas in Lagos saying Igbo should leave Lagos. Let me tell you the truth. If it were not for the monopoly of the seaport in Lagos, nobody will. I don't think the Igbos will see Lagos as any preferred place to stay. Move the seaport to Calabar or Warri or any other place, and you see how Lagos will become a shadow of its own. I made an example with Abuja the last time, saying Abuja is a capital territory. And Abuja is what it is today because of the collective hegemony of the people of Nigeria, owing to the fact that it earned the status of federal capital territory. If today, by some sort of policy change, they decide now to shift our capital to somewhere else, will the Gwari now come and say they own Abuja because of the ancestral linkage of the land? Abuja people were compensated and were redirected so that they can leave the space to become a federal capital territory, which was once the status of Lagos. And because Lagos was capital, everything about Nigeria was diverted to Lagos to build Lagos to what it is today. And now because the capital has been moved over to Abuja, you are laying claim. It's okay that you lay claim. But for people who claim to be educated to get to the point of asking people to leave or asking people to vote or must vote alongside their way of voting is a unique and unusual and uncanny way of displaying evil. I have never for once thought about looking at Yorubas as this nomenclature of evil or describing them in this manner. But what I've seen, it completely takes my mind away from the Northerners that I've held so bitter over the years. Perhaps it is the Yorubas that have, in this their ungodly marriage, have been teaching these people all the evil that they've been practicing. Because when I was growing up, the Hausa people were very nice, very welcome, very hospitable. And all of a sudden, this thing that is happening today, this politics of bitterness, perhaps the origin of this politics of bitterness is from the Yoruba people. Please, like I said, if you are my friend and you're on this page, you are one of those rational Yorubas. This video is not meant for you. But we cannot keep quiet and see this evil. The obedient movement has nothing to do with Yorubas, Igbo, sorry. Has nothing to do with them. The obedient movement is loved and followed by people who genuinely want a change for Nigeria. A departure from corruption, a departure from all this. Now, I just heard that Tinubu is saying that they will remove subsidy, and then there's every likelihood that Nigerians will begin to buy fuel for 750 naira. Now, is it the reason why you people ganged against Jonathan? Nigeria is not about the Yoruba people. It's not about the Igbo people. Certainly not about the Fulani people. The Yorubas have displayed that anytime a government does not include them, they will act as spoilers, just like they did to Obasanjo, Jonathan. What gets me even more angry is this sense of entitlement that the Yorubas actually believe that it is their turn and presidency must come to the Yorubas. One man even made allegations that what Peter Obi is doing is likening it to the mandate stolen on June 12 from Abiola. But I don't want to go into that nitty-gritty. But why would the Yoruba man display a sense of entitlement after having an Obasanjo from the same region who ruled 8 years and Osibanjo who became vice 8 years? Why will a Yoruba man feel a sense of more entitlement than those who have never tasted power at all? Like I said in many of my arguments, if it is taking the Igbos this difficult to become the president of Nigeria, I'm not talking about Jonathan, who was a circumstantial president. I'm talking about presidents emanating from actual ballots. If you could take the Igbo man this way, and even when the best of the best from Igbo land came with proven character, competence, quality, and everything that the forces provides, the Yoruba still feels entitled that power must come to them, that power must go to South, and if it's South, it's Yoruba. So the rest of us, the Igbos, the Edos, the South, the whatever, the rest of us that are not from Southwest extraction, we don't matter. Whatever comes to the Yorubas benefits us, or it automatically means it us. Look, it is okay to enjoy evil because you are the one perpetrating it. But like I said, what goes around comes around. I think the Yorubas are fast playing themselves into a place whereby we will see them as a problem of this country. Like I said, I was telling my friend, do you know it is easier to even convince a Fulani man to see reason and political logic that, okay, let's give it to the Igbos, than to even convince a tribal bigot like you find in the Southwest. If not, how do you explain, in fact, how do you explain that a man that has been proven to be a drug lord, that is a criminal, that has held Lagos spellbound, that has stolen Lagos blind? Don't forget that Lagos was former capital of Nigeria. So whatever economic status that it had as capital, even though it's no longer capital, it's still there. This man has diverted the whole Lagos to himself, and yet people are clapping for him. I saw a comment on Facebook saying that, well, if it that is in one where that young man was holding the book that condemns Tinubu as a drug lord. One Yoruba guy came and said that, see how foolish we are. We are happy that in Nigeria we are disgracing ourselves. Can't we even? I said, no. Ekweremadu committed a crime abroad. Every Igbo man is not supporting, because what is criminal is criminal. It's a disgrace to take the whole of Nigerians and disgrace us abroad. Why are Yorubas not getting angry with the proof of Tinubu's drug involvement? Why are they not angry? I knew tribalism is bad, but I've never gotten proof of its evil the way Yorubas are proving it to me this 2023. And I must say shame to a lot of you. Like I said again, I'm not making this video to help any rational Yorubas. But with recent times, when you see people with suits, people who you ordinarily should think they are epitome of intellectual emulation, coming to say that, no, Tinubu is this, Tinubu is that. Look at Femi Fani-Kayode, sound intellectual. Look at the other one I heard. So many of them. All because of this Yoruba affiliation. Is it a cult? Is it not an ethnic division, just like Igbo, just like Bachama? Is it a cult that because one of your own does bad, oh, it's our tribesman, let's leave it, let's leave it. It appears most of the things that I've seen with the Northerners do, that I think I should hold them accountable for. I think now that they're actually learning it from the Yorubas. Because when I grew up, the house I grew up from, Hausa, the neighborhood Hausa, even the Fulanis, they are not as bad as it. Fulani, we used to call them Buzu. They were everywhere. There was nothing. It was like this Yoruba. Thank God I've seen this in my lifetime. Otherwise, my mind would not be drawn to this. Quite frankly, if you have the few Yorubas that are still rational, you have to talk to your brothers that what they are doing, if anything falls apart with them and this ungodly alliance they have with the Northwest, we will not cry for them. They will be alone. They will be alone. They will be alone. Peter Obi duly won the presidential election of 25th of February 2023. He won it squarely. A criminal, a known criminal who has perfected the art of evil, who has perfected the art of corruption, who has perfected the art of stealing, who prides himself as Jagaban, the kingpin, the Lord of the Ring, and the Lord of Thieves, has come to think that because he has manipulated Lagos, he can also manipulate Nigeria. I keep asking, why are these old men so glued to becoming, why are these old men so wanting to be glued to power? Yeah, that's what I want to say. Why? It's simple. Because at that age, sex is no longer a thing of, happiness. Money is no longer a thing of happiness. Because what is it that makes one happy? Wealth, sex, maybe popularity. But power is the only thing that summarizes all these things. You don't know what, if you have power, you don't know what it is. So maybe at old age, they see power as something to masturbate upon. And that is very bad. This is Nigeria, for crying out loud. This is Nigeria with estimated population of over 200 million people, with ethnic nationalities that amount up to 375. Nigeria cannot be a political button that can be joyously interchanged by two tribes. Nigeria is too big for that. And let me tell you, for those that are saying that the obedient movement wave, maybe the momentum is dying down, like I saw on Arise TV from Charles. No. The obedient movement is just, first of all, obedient movement, we are educated, we are civil, and we are exposed. And then let me just add, we are patient. We are just waiting for the declaration of the tribunal. For me, I don't have the patience to even wait for Supreme. A lot of people are thinking that you go to tribunal, then jump. No. From this tribunal, if they mention anything different, whatever happens to Nigeria, the judiciary should be blamed. Thank you very much.